Hey everyone, it's Even Bigger Jono. This is the new thing I'm bringing to my channel. It's a bunch of Wi-Fi battle videos. I've started to save some of them with my friends now, and you know I have the ability to record them and stuff like that now. So I thought, why not? I'd give it a shot. This is the first battle I had against one of my friends, Cast, or Isabella, as they've called themselves in the game. So it was a single 6v6 fight, just like old times. None of this doubles bullshit. They started out with a clef key, and I was kind of worried because I was like, I was starting with the Mega. I can't do anything to this thing. And then they started with the Toxic, and I was like, oh, well, I mean, it's a lead, so I'm not really too concerned about being Toxic poisoned. I went for the U-turn because there wasn't really anything I could do to this thing, and I was like, well, I might as well deal some sort of damage and get out of there really quickly. Klefki is really defensive as well, so anything I had against this thing was not very effective, so I was like, you know, whatever. So I go into Nidoking, and my Nidoking is actually a modest, mixed, attacking expert belt Nidoking. The fact that I'm a special attacker had no ramifications for that reflect, so I just went straight for the Earth Power to get rid of that Klefki, and that stab expert belt Earth Power was the end of that. So next I went for a Murkrow. I was kind of confused about this. I was like, what is this thing supposed to do? And then he went for a Tailwind, and I was like, well, that's kind of interesting. Wasn't really expecting a Tailwind, but then I remember that like Murkrow is like pretty well known for Tailwind. But anyway, I went for an Ice Beam. I did have Thunderbolt as well, but I went for Ice Beam just because I could. Got rid of that Murkrow pretty quickly. They're very, very frail, so that was the end of that. Next up, he went into Wheatley, which is his Rotom Wash. For this thing, I was like, there is nothing I can do to this thing. I decided to sack Nidoking because no matter what I wanted to switch into, that Hydro Pump probably would have done a decent amount of damage. So I thought that I'd sack Nidoking, even though that was a one-hit KO. It at least gave me a free switch. So I went into Machamp thinking that Machamp probably could take a Hydro Pump if it did go for it. Instead, they went for a Thunder Wave, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Now I'm gonna have to deal with this shit. But luckily for me, I did go through that paralysis and went straight for the Dynamic Punch, which does confuse whenever it hits. And lucky for me, Machamp has no guard, which means all of its attacks hit all the time. I am Life Orbed as well, so it did a little bit more damage than normal. He is confused now, which I was really hoping that he would have hit himself, but it wasn't the case. He went for a Hex that didn't do too much damage. Then I finished off with the with the Dynamic Punch, and that was the end of that Rotom Wash, which I was really concerned about because I was like, if there's anything that can sweep my team, it's this Rotom Wash. So luckily for me, I got rid of it. His Reflect is gone now as well. His Tailwind is also gone. He went into Meowstic, and I was like, well, there is literally no point in me switching, because like I have like 1/3 health left. I'm paralyzed. He went for a Calm Mind, and I was like, okay, if I get like a move up here without being paralyzed, I'll be grateful. And I eventually did. I actually managed to get a Stone Edge off, which nearly actually KO'd this thing. I was kind of surprised it lived, but there you go. Anyway, then he goes for a Psychic and finishes me off, and I was like, okay, whatever. I'm totally okay with being sacked like that. So that was the end of Machamp. So I've lost Machamp and Nidoking so far. Next up, I went into Yanmega because I was like, well, I have a Bug type, so I probably could finish this thing off. Went for it to Protect because I didn't really know what this thing could do. If it had like a priority move or anything like that, didn't really want to risk it. He went for a Thunderbolt. I protected myself, so I was like, whatever. I do take some poison damage. I then get the Speed Boost, which means I'm definitely going to be faster than this thing no matter what now. And then I just went for a Bug Buzz and killed this thing. I was going to go for a U-turn, but I thought, well, you know what? I might as well just stay in with the Speed Boost and see what I can do. See what he sends in next. So that was the end of the cat. I had no idea what he was going to bring in next. I was like, well, you have 2 more Pokemon left. It's either going to be Haxorus or Porygon 2. He ends up going into Porygon 2, which was a little bit concerning for me because I know that like almost all Porygon 2s generally carry Eviolite, and I'm pretty sure this is what this thing had. It has Trace as an ability as well, and I was like, this could actually work to my advantage, even though that's Speed Boost, because I was like, if they're going to do what I think they're going to do, which was actually Trick Room, I was like, this is actually going to work to my advantage. So I played around a little bit here, just to get that Porygon 2's speed as high as I could, because I know that Trick Room lasts for 5 turns. So if I can get like 2 or 3 Speed Boosts off, that means that it's going to be like faster than anything, which means it's going to go last against most of my Pokemon, aside from Yanmega, obviously. But I kept Yanmega in there just to like play off as if I was trying to like destroy this thing, but obviously I wasn't trying. I was just trying to get that Speed Boost up on that Porygon 2. And then I got a critical, and I was like, well, that's kind of nice, I guess. At this point, Yanmega's like practically dead anyway, so yeah, so I was just like waiting for this Speed Boost to go up and up and up. I ended up U-turning here, because I figured that now is the time to get Yanmega out of there and bring in my own Porygon. So I go for a U-turn, he goes for another recover, and I was like, okay, you know, whatever, you can just recover as much as you want. So that Porygon 2 is going to go first now with those 3 speed boosts inside a... No, sorry, it's going to go last now, sorry. Inside a Trick Room. So I go into my Porygon Z, which is the special attacker. I started off with straight away the Nasty Plot, and I was like, you know what? I'll take the advantage, get a Nasty Plot off. And then they go for a Tri-Attack, and I was like, well, you know what? I swear to God, if this like burned or paralyzed me or froze me, I would have screamed. But then I was like, you know what? Hey, Porygon Z, show them a true Tri-Attack! I didn't really say it like that, but that's what I did, and I killed it with a Tri-Attack. So, Tri-Attack v Tri-Attack. Obviously, Porygon Z is much better at doing that because it's a more special attacker. Their last Pokemon, Haxorus, I wasn't really too concerned about. I knew it was faster than this thing. I went for a Tri-Attack. It does KO it, but I do go to critical. Now, I was like, I don't really know if that mattered because I had the Nasty Plot and Haxorus is kind of fragile like that. But anyway, that was the end of that. So I hope you guys liked the battle. I'll hopefully try and get some more of these up towards the end of Gen 6 and going into Gen 7. So if you like this video, make sure you write it in the comments. Make sure you rate, or like, comment, subscribe to this if you want to see more, alright? See you guys later.